Barricade has just arrived, let me check him out. Wait, what the hell is this? Excavation? I thought this game mode was removed in 2019.
Wait, are you crazy? You're actually making a serious guide for this?
So why would somebody run this game mod nowadays? First off, cryotic. You definitely know how painful it is to farm it. But I'll show how you can farm it solo, with practically the same efficiency, as if you were with coordinated team. Next, build for your helmet. And here's the thing most people don't realize. Farming cryotic here basically doubles as farming bile. Then relics. In this game mode you can crack one relic every 3 minutes. And at the same time, you'll get a relic roughly every 6 minutes. But what if there are no relic missions? Are excavations worth it? Actually not really, unless you wanna listen to some YouTube videos while recording resources at the same time, as I did it in 2017. What made me a niche bimbo aesthetic doll. Alright, so what kind of build do you actually need for excavation? The only thing your build should do is to make excavators alive as long as needed. It can be achieved through killing enemies before they reach excavators, blocking incoming damage, distracting enemies from targets, killing excavators more than enemies can deal damage, controlling enemies. And there are a lot of warframes who can do this, but here are the problems. The first one, Eximus enemies. These guys are ignoring your crowd control abilities. The second one, nullifiers. These guys will disable your protecting abilities. Usually these problems are not problems at all, but if you try to defend more than one excavator solo, or with a not coordinated team, you would suffer. But one warframe can solve both problems, and its name is Octavia. And how she's one of the best warframes in this game mode. Because of this, the mallet ability. The only static ability in the game that can control Eximus enemies. If you throw it, enemies will prioritize attacking it over all targets. Sometimes won't. So you trap it near the excavator and suddenly every enemy is focused on it. Like dudes in my village when someone leaves a cow unattended at night. The second useful feature of mallet is its ability to pop nullifier bubbles. And the one thing I found out after playing for 1000 hours on Octavia, that the fourth ability doubles mallet range. But there's one ability that actually earns the whole setup. Resonator, her second ability. It just snatches your mallet and takes away. So you have to infuse any ability instead of it, like damage buff or silence. Or at least just don't cast it. I'll tell you more about silence in the next build. The build is simple. You just maximize duration to be able to leave excavators as soon as possible. And the partitioned mallet, to be able to defend 2 excavators at once. I'll put this warframe in the S tier. Frost, the classic warframe for this game mode. His globes can make excavators tank millions of damage, but they are vulnerable to nullifiers and mobs still are able to go through them. So you can't just leave an excavator unattended. The build is pretty straightforward. Maximum duration and strength to make globes even tankier. For a helmet ability I highly recommend the silence. It disables Eximus abilities. As you can see, without this ability enabled, this freak throws his balls into me. And just when I enable it, he stops. Not funny anymore? Yeah, cry about it. A tier. Oberon. A real multi-tool for defenses. He can distract enemies, heal objectives and give resists. And the prettiest part, you don't need a prime sure-footed. You are the prime sure-footed for your team, cause your second ability provides knockdown protection. A tier. Korra. This warframe is probably one of the best for farming cryotic on non-relic missions. Gameplay is as simple as possible, you just place cages on excavators. Recast them on the last 45 seconds, and proceed to the next excavator. S tier for cryotic and B tier for relics. Mag. Not widely known fact, but Mag's third ability can restore excavator shields, and on the steel path or icon hunts it might be handy. She also can protect excavators from bullets with her second ability. A tier for specific cases. Other good picks. Limbo. I should mention this warframe cause not all the players know that Eximus enemies ignore his dome, and your teammates can kill this type of enemy from outside of the dome. So for random players this fight may be annoying. D tier. Any nuke warframes like CERN are okay, but they may break timings in Void Fisher missions. I'll tell you about this later. Strategies. There are two strategies for excavations. First one if you purely wanna focus on cryotic, and the second one if you wanna get extra platinum, but you have to make extra efforts. The cryotic-focused strategy. This strategy is quite simple. You just need to take Cora with duration-oriented build, then you have to start the mission called Everest on Earth, as it doesn't have Eximus enemies which will ignore your cage. Then you play this mission as usual, spawn excavators and fill them. But when timer with the excavator matches your cage duration, you need to cast this skill on the excavator and proceed to the next one. Alternatively, if you don't have Cora, you can take a Warframe with a steady crowd control ability such as Oberon, Limbo or Octavia. The relic focus strategy. In short terms, cryotic oriented method may look not so bad, but if you wanna craft all the items that require cryotic, you may find that they need more than 100k of it. Without boosters it will take 1000 excavators, or around 24 hours, and now it looks like a marathon. Instead of pure farming, I recommend you to farm it only with void missions, or at least at the high level nodes to get Neo and Axia relics. And on these missions you will face troubles, like Eximus enemies, or guaranteed nullifiers on void fishers. First off, I'll show you how you can deal with them solo, with practically the same efficiency as in the team. First you have to pick Octavia and it's non-negotiable. The strategy is similar to the cryotic one, but instead of cages you should drop your mallet next to excavators. They should be placed 5 meters away from excavators, to draw Eximus enemies away. And mallet should be visible earlier than excavators, to increase chances of enemy distraction. Then right after that you press 4. Next kill the enemies that are close to the excavator, and immediately search for power cells. Then when excavator is full and your forest can cover the rest of the time, just recast it. Proceed to the next excavator, then drop another mallet immediately, and repeat the process. You may lose some of excavators and it's okay, as mobs are pretty random. For groups this tactic remains the same, but players should take other frames for efficiency. The second most important frame after Octavia is Frost. The main thing Frost should do for the team is to place snow globes over excavators, and stay next to them while silence is enabled, to block Eximus skills. After Frost you may pick anything what I mentioned in the list. I highly recommend to take at least one Oberon. He gives 50% protection to excavators. Also his abilities regenerate excavators' health, and this second skill will apply radiation to enemies, making them fight with each other. With this team you can close excavators on maximum speed without any risks. The main problem with nukers at relic missions is that they are killing enemies before they become corrupted, so team have to wait more to get a reactant, which makes this farm less optimal. So instead of a nuker you have to pick a good radial weapon, or a warframe that doesn't obliterate an entire map in one click. Best locations. Generally all locations provide the similar loot, except the tiers of relics. You can see the best missions for each type of relic on the screen. Dark sector ones are more preferable as they don't have nullifiers, and most of enemies are non-ranged. Builds. Octavia. Octavia's build should have the partitioned mallet augment, to be able to distract enemies from 2 excavators at the same time, and the main stat is duration, to make mallets as autonomous as possible. The rest of the mods is your personal choice. As helmet skill you can use silence, empower, or any skill you have, instead of the second ability. Frost. Frost should focus on strength and armor above his globes, and as a helmet skill is better to use silence to disable enemy skills. Oberon. For Oberon you can use any generic balanced build, and optional you can use silence as an infused ability, to be able to protect the extra excavator from enemy skills. Cora. For Cora you can use any generic build with above average duration, just don't forget to insert build frames strength in them, to increase power cells yield, as it may be pain in the ass on low level missions like Everest. I personally use this one, but you may experiment with infused ability, or with duration instead of range mods. Mech. For mech you wanna use balanced build with tank domination. As augments you can use counter pulse and fracturing crash as additional crowd control. And you can subsume whatever you want instead of first ability, for example smite or roar. General advices. Advice 1. Stop killing corrupted enemies after you cracked a relic. This will allow you to fill reactants faster, and maybe you even don't have to pause excavation to crack your relics. Advice 2. Reactants in Warframe are desynced. If you have 10 out of 10, it doesn't mean anybody has the same amount. Advice 3. Always hold energy cell in your hand. This will allow you to start an excavator non-empty. Advice 4. Before you move to the next excavator, take a second power cell into operator's hands. It will fill a half of an excavator. Advice 5. Resourceful Retriever also boosts cryotic, so don't forget to install it into your companion.